Welcome to the realm of intoxicating flavors and head-banging beer reviews.
What's up, everybody? It's the Ginger Yeti, and I'm checking in from home. It is Tuesday, February 11th, and last week on Thursday, I had the pleasure of meeting up with Joe from the Beer PaTroll. Him and I met up at the Brew Kettle in Menor, had dinner, had a really great time. Thanks for inviting me, Joe. Really appreciate it. It was cool to hang out with you for a while. And afterwards, Joe gave me one of these. This is a Little King's Cream Ale. I haven't seen this in years. It's these tiny little bottles here. They only ever come in these tiny little bottles. They are 7 fluid ounces, little pony bottles, some people call it, 6% alcohol. And I don't think I've even drank this in years. Like I said, I haven't seen it in years. This is currently brewed by Little King's Brewery out of Cincinnati, Ohio, which is a subsidiary of the Cincinnati Beverage Company, sometimes called CinBev. And they own Little King's, Christian Moreland, Hudolf. I never know how to pronounce that brewery. It's Hudeophl. Hoodfill? I don't know. Burger. And they just recently, in 2024, acquired Taft's Brewing Company. Little King's did recently win an award at the U.S. Beer Open. They won the silver, and that was in 2023, which is kind of surprising. So a little blurb here on Untapped. Little King's was originally brewed by the Schoenling Brewery in Cincinnati, Ohio. Legend has it that the sweet cream ale in the iconic small bottle was created when the Drought beer cooler went on the fritz at Cincinnati's famous Montgomery Inn in 1958, because refrigeration was a finicky thing in those days. The regular patrons loved Schoenling Cream Ale as a sidecar chaser for their bourbon boilermakers, but didn't want to buy full-size bottles. Necessity led to the invention, and the King was born. The delicious cream ale with subtle sweetness was an instant hit, and the 7-ounce bottle became the perfect sidecar chaser. Whether that's true or not, I don't know, but it's a cool little story. And it's a green bottle beer here. It's got, I don't know if, it's kind of like a person's face, but also looks like a cat's face on the crown. I'll try to get a good picture of it. Maybe you can see it right there. And like I said, these bottles are tiny. I mean, size of my hand, basically. I don't know what else to say about it. There's no date on this, but I know Average Joe picked it up the day we were there. Maybe there is a date. I don't know. This micro writing is always so fine, so small. Brewed and bottled by Little King's, Cincinnati. Yeah, there's no date that I can see on the can here. On the bottle. Can. What am I thinking? Can. It's in my hand. It's glass. It's a bottle. Why would I call it a can? I'm starting off great this evening. So let's get on into it. On Untapped, this gets a 3.08 with 12.7 thousand check-ins. Beer Advocate, it got a 71 okay with 398 check-ins. And I'm sure this isn't going to fill this glass. It's one of the smaller glasses I have. I should have got one of the little snifters I use at Beer Fest. Get a nose on it. Don't know if I can get my big nose down deep enough in there. Yeah, it smells like a cream ale. It's got a little bit of that green bottle skunk to it. And that's about it. That head dissipated quickly. Just a little bit around the edges there. Very clear. Probably about, as far as the color goes, probably about a 3 on the SRM chart, because that's like a yellowish color, fairly clear. A lot of carbonation floating up in there. And I'm interested and excited to try this. Thank you, Joe. Appreciate it. Didn't even know they still made these things. Let's get into it. Cheers, everybody. A little bit of skunkiness to it. Little bit of skunkiness to that. It's light. You get some, how do I describe that? I mean, there's some hops in there, but it's kind of like, I almost want to say old hops. Like they're kind of fruity and fizzy. I mean, this is very fizzy carbonated. And there's some skunkiness to it, which I expect from these green bottle beers. but it's actually not a bad beer. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of just like a generic fruity hop almost. I mean, it's really hard to describe. I mean, it does have that skunkiness to it, almost like when you get a Heineken. But I think it has a better flavor than Heineken. It is a cream ale. It's more effervescent than I expected it to be, but it's a tasty little beer. If you wanted a chaser for your Boilermaker, I could see people drinking this. I would probably give this a horns up. It's not a bad beer overall. I would definitely drink it again. I don't know what he paid for it. Can't be too much for these little mini bottles here. It's almost the size of an airplane bottle. But it's a good little beer. Depending on the price point, I'd drink that again. If you're looking for just an easy drinking beer, this would be a go-to beer. I mean, you could crush through a lot of these real easy, not even realize it. And that 6% alcohol would probably catch up to you real quick. Untappd says this has 20 IBUs. Maybe that's correct. I don't know. But this is a nice little beer. God, I said nice. I got to stop saying nice. I always say nice. It's a good little beer. Like I said, I give that a horns up. Easy to drink. I slammed that during the review. Wow. Well, I guess I can't chug it at the end, but it was an adventure going to see Joe in the icy, snowy roads up in Menor. Really appreciate it, Joe. Thanks for the invite. Great time hanging out with you and your pops. Thanks for giving me these little kings. Really appreciate it. I enjoyed trying this. It's a lot better than I expected it to be. A lot better than I remember it being. And as always, embrace the adventure.